Welcome back to the show, everybody. Jake here, hanging out with Madison, and today we're basically asking, what happens when the store shelf moves into your TikTok feed?
Yeah, this is the part where every CPG brand manager from the 90s starts sweating. The old path to purchase was pretty linear. You watched TV, you saw a big glossy ad, you drove to a store, and you grabbed whatever took up the most shelf space.
Exactly. The whole game was, can you afford primetime TV? And can you bully your way into eye-level placement at Walmart or Target? Attention lived in a few channels, and brands rented it from media companies, then converted it on physical shelves.
Fast forward to now, and that TV to aisle 3 journey is kind of broken. Discovery is happening in the feed. People open TikTok, Instagram, YouTube before they ever open Amazon, let alone go to a store. The first touch is a creator talking about a product while they're getting ready, cleaning their apartment, or doing a day in the life.
Right, the store shelf got replaced by the For You page. Instead of walking down a physical aisle, you're scrolling an infinite digital aisle. And what's wild is, platforms shifted attention away from brand logos to actual humans. Individual faces, weird niches, tiny subcultures, that's the creator economy in a nutshell.
And platforms encourage that, whether intentionally or not. Algorithms favor engagement, and we just engage more with people than we do with static brand posts. So suddenly, the distribution power sits with creators. They're the ones aggregating and holding attention, day after day.
This is where I love the attention landlords analogy. If attention is the new real estate, creators basically own the hot corners in the digital city. Their feed is like a dynamic storefront that their audience walks past every single day. Morning coffee scroll, lunch scroll, late night doom scroll.
And brands are no longer guaranteed foot traffic just by existing on a shelf. They have to rent that digital shelf space from the people who already have the crowd standing outside. That might be a paid integration, affiliate deal, a long-term ambassadorship. Whatever the structure is, it's still rent.
The other big difference is how flexible these storefronts are. A grocery shelf can't suddenly turn into a tutorial or a meme. A creator's feed can. One week they're doing product comparisons, next week it's a funny skit, then a deep dive review. The merchandising lives inside their personality and content style.
And because they're niches on niches, book talk, plant talk, finance YouTube, skincare Reddit refugees on Instagram Reels, you get micro aisles that never could have existed in a physical store. That's why niche creators can move serious volume, even with small audiences. It's like ultra-targeted shelf space.
So, if we zoom out, old world was TV to store shelf, controlled by big media and big retail. New world is feed to checkout, controlled by platforms and creators. If you're a brand, you can't just think, what stores are we in? You have to ask, whose feed are we in?
And more specifically, who has the right kind of attention we can partner with? That's the storefront mindset we're going to keep building on for the rest of this episode.
All right, let's break down this new funnel because I like how clean it is. Scroll, trust, buy. It sounds almost too simple, but there's a lot going on under the hood.
Yeah, so start with scroll. This is passive exposure. The user isn't searching best protein powder for marathon training. They're just existing. They're scrolling TikTok, and their favorite fitness creator casually mentions the protein they use.
No intent yet, just vibes. But that's important. The product is introduced inside content they already enjoy. Workout routines, a vlog, whatever. Over time, those casual exposures stack, and that's where the second stage kicks in. Trust.
Trust is where creators absolutely smoke traditional ads. You've got parasocial relationships. People feel like they know the creator. They've watched them for months, maybe years. There's niche expertise. This person only talks about running shoes, or productivity gear, or Korean skincare. And there's repetition. Consistent, authentic mentions. Not a one-off hashtag ad that appears out of nowhere.
And that parasocial layer is sneaky powerful. When your brain files someone under friend I see every day, their recommendations hit differently than a 30-second pre-roll with some celebrity you never think about otherwise.
Plus, creators can show the messy middle. They can say, I tried 3 of these. This one broke me out. Here's the one I actually stuck with. That comparative, imperfect narrative builds more credibility than a polished studio spot that claims everything is amazing.
Then we hit buy. And this is where platforms have quietly rewired the last mile. Instead of drive to store, it's tap the link. You've got affiliate links in bios, product tags in Reels, TikTok Shop, in-app checkout, live shopping where you can buy without leaving the stream.
So the distance between, I just saw this in a funny video, and I own this, collapses to like 3 taps. There's no separate shopping trip, no need to remember the brand name later. The content itself carries the intent and the transaction path.
And importantly, that funnel isn't linear in the old sense. You don't necessarily move from awareness to consideration to purchase in discrete steps. You might go scroll, scroll, scroll for weeks. Then one day, the 4th mention plus a discount code plus payday, and boom, conversion.
From a performance lens, the reason brands are pouring budget into this is that when it works, the trust phase accelerates. Instead of 6 anonymous ad impressions over a month, you get 20 touch points with a single trusted voice. That can compress time to purchase compared to traditional display or TV.
So if you're mapping this like an MBA, think of scroll as your attention capture, trust as relationship capital, and buy as the frictionless bridge platforms now provide. Creators sit at the center of all 3.
And that's why you can't just treat them as media placements. They're shaping the entire funnel. How your brand shows up in the scroll, how trust gets built, and how conversion is triggered in platform.
So let's talk playbook. If creators are the new storefronts, you don't want to treat them like last-minute end caps you slap a promo sign on. You're basically designing your retail infrastructure with them.
Yeah, first big mindset shift. Creators aren't just campaign add-ons. They're long-term distribution partners and, honestly, co-architects of your customer journey. They're influencing how people first hear about you, how they evaluate you, and how they check out.
That ties into one of my favorite strategic questions. Do you want to rent attention or own it? Working with creators is, by default, renting. You're paying to show up in someone else's feed. But over time, you can also build your own audience, your brand channels, your email list, your community, so you're not completely dependent.
I frame it as a portfolio. Short term, you rent from creators to get distribution you could never build fast enough on your own. Long term, you funnel a portion of that traffic into owned assets so your entire P&L isn't hostage to one platform or one influencer changing direction.
Then there's the micro versus macro creator decision. Macro creators are like getting an end cap at a national retailer. Huge reach, big signal, often more expensive, and sometimes a little less intimate. Micro creators are like dominating a local chain. Smaller reach per store, but ridiculous depth and trust in that niche.
And it's not either or. You can run a tentpole moment with a larger creator and surround it with a bench of micros who hit specific subsegments. The strategic trade-off is breadth versus depth. Do you need a loud awareness burst? Or are you trying to own a narrow category in people's minds?
The other piece people underestimate is co-creation. If you treat creators like pure media buys, here's the script, read it, you're not really leveraging them as storefronts. You're just pasting a poster on their window. The best setups let creators shape the narrative, format, even the offer.
Totally. But that's where risk management comes in. If creators are your retail partners, you've got to underwrite them the way you'd underwrite a retailer. Brand fit is huge. Does their tone, values, and audience actually align? Or are you chasing vanity metrics?
Then there's dependency risk. If 60% of your revenue is tied to 1 or 2 creators or one platform feature, like a specific live shopping product, you're exposed. Algorithms change, creators burn out, platforms tweak payouts. You want diversification across creators, formats, and channels.
On the analytics side, attribution is the messy part. In-app links, affiliate dashboards, coupon codes, they help, but they don't capture the full halo effect. People see a creator talk about you on TikTok, then Google you and buy on desktop 3 days later. So as an MBA thinking about measurement, you're looking at directional lifts, blended CAC, and incrementality tests, not just last-click ROI.
Success metrics I'd watch: cost per incremental new customer from creator channels, repeat purchase rate from those cohorts, and maybe something like creator-driven share of search. Are more people searching your brand name after big creator pushes?
And qualitatively, is the creator's content actually shaping your brand narrative in a way you're proud of? Because once it's in their feed, it's not just your message anymore. It's part of their universe. You're co-owning that experience.
All right, let's land the plane. If you remember nothing else, creators are not just another line item in your media plan. They're the digital storefronts where your customers hang out, discover you, and decide whether to buy.
And if you treat them like real partners, strategically, long-term, with clear metrics and guardrails, you're basically rebuilding the retail layer of your business for the social era.
We're going to keep unpacking this in future episodes. Things like creator deal structures, how to test before you scale, all that good stuff. Madison, this was fun.
Always. Thanks for listening, everyone. Go rethink your storefronts, and we'll catch you next time.
See you in the next one.